LV55 Media LLC presents the Heroes of Montford Point interview series, featuring Montford Point Marine Norman Preston, Part 3, hosted by Mark Henry.
You know, we talked about this a little between takes, but give us your thoughts a little bit on the amount of time you feel that it took for the Montford Point Marines to get the recognition that they're getting now.
That's a very tough question to answer because as time progresses, in order to get recognition, when it comes down to the military and any civilian life, unless you be able to penetrate the system, you will never move forward. But see, our problem with the Marine Corps has been from the top. Commandants
Down.
kept it down for 70 years because they was in command. That is the history and the legend of this country that we love and we fought for. To suppress you, keep you down as much as they could.
The obliteration, if you would, for lack of a better word, of old ideas, would you say that's bringing about that change so that you are getting that recognition that you long deserve now?
Yes.
Would be a fair statement.
And to add to that, I can say this, you know, after receiving the Congressional Medal of Honor, it's amazing, even been invited back to Camp Lejeune, where I was even allowed to go.
First place.
And I spoke to, I guess, in round table discussion, I guess 5, 6, 8,000 Marines. And all of them is asking the same question. How was it then? They can't imagine what it was like. You know, so that's just history.
But you need to know that too, though.
Oh yeah.
You also, you have to, you know.
And I tell them all that when they ask me that question, I said, look, it's no way that I can tell you. You have to live this and feel that and recognize the fact that, well, here I am. What do I do now?
Right.
But my theory was in that relationship, I always isolated myself from people who was determined to deny me what I knew I deserved. Because I realized this, and I use this a little Bible scripture. The first will be last, and the last will be first. And a young man, when I interviewed him to be a pastor, you know what he said?
What's that?
I didn't go to college, and I haven't read these 66 books from top to bottom, but it's in the book. Read it for yourself. And that's what life is.
Right.
Live it for yourself. And you see that you're not accepted. Nobody likes you. Love the Lord. Let your life go on.
Right. Right.
I've got 90 years of proof.
Right. Hey, you know,
Speaks for itself.
doesn't get any better than that. You know, it doesn't. Lastly, what do you want the general public, and especially young people, you know, our young men, to know about what the Montford Point Marines accomplished during that era?
What actually, I can see the results of it. What the Montford Point, the original, when I say original, because
Sure.
I have to put it in this perspective because I teach this everybody, even today. I'm trying to get them to lean away from perception of just Montford Point Marine.
Okay.
We are all Marines.
Sure.
That legend is once a Marine, always a Marine. See, and what I see is when colonels, majors, captains walk up to you and shake your hand and thank you and say, this bars of this star is because of what you endured.
Right.
That's a motivating factor in itself. And nobody can take that away, because you're getting it from a sincere person who appreciate where they at and the reason they are there. And that is a motivating factor. And I try to instill these in these young troops and hope they will listen and endure to it. But it's a hard sell. It's a very hard sell.
Yeah.
Some will and some won't.
Right.
See, because I've contributed to this society and growing up, and I just had this past week, my daughter, my son, and our future son-in-law, they've been on the phone, and they want to be a successful electrician, and they want to know, how did I accomplish that? Because I have a young man now, he's 52 years old, and I gave him the first job he ever had right out of high school and trained him. And he worked for, never had the only job he ever had in his life. He worked for me. And when I retired, I gave him a lucrative contract in business in good faith. And I knew it was good faith. But it was supposed to cost me $17,000 in tax because I didn't do it right. And I was harassed by the IRS for about 4 years. And finally, by the grace of God, the guy that was harassing me, I don't know what happened to him, but the Lord taking him off the scene. And when I received a new agent, and he sit me down and he said, I know your story, and I knew your intention. You should have charged him $1. You didn't charge him that dollar in good faith, but I'm going to honor that dollar, and you don't owe the government nothing.
Okay.
Now I have a young man now. He wants a career as an electrician in the union. And two of my employees, they in their 50s, they ain't work for nobody but me. And they are working diligently to get him in the union now so he can pursue his career. He's an A student in a training program now as we speak in Ohio. And he can't wait. He said, how did you and the employee, Albert Good and Leroy, they work for me, and they've told me over and over, said, they always call me, said, boss, said, that was a many day I wanted to walk away because you was just so insistent that we listen and be taught. But now they're reaping the benefits.
So that's a fair statement then to say that's one of the things that you like to see more
That's
of.
right. But the heartbreaking thing of it is you can't get young people to commit themselves.
Right.
You have to have a dedicated commitment.
Right.
And I was listening to our national president today and how he laid out the agenda for the convention coming up in August, and how he has labored teaching and telling our organization what they need to do to go forward and let this organization be what they can be with the type of leadership. And nobody can attest that any better than me since I was elected national president in 1969. So I've seen a lot of presidents and a lot of national presidents come and go. But the past is the past. I'm working in these few years I have left, and they make that step. I don't know. It's not promised. It could be tomorrow. It could be today or whatever. But I'm committing myself to these days, to the things that I have accomplished. And I look at it like this. I've always been this. If I have it up here, it belongs to me and the Lord. And if I don't share it, he can take it away. And you'll never know why he's taken away, because you sometimes will not accept disobedience because your mentality won't let, and your pride won't let you do it.
Right. Well, we certainly thank you for sharing what you have, passing on your legacy and the legacy of the Montford Point Marines and anything you have to teach the young people and pass on. We're very appreciative of that.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Special thanks to Jimmy Michael Truitt and the National Montford Point Marine Association. This episode was recorded on location at the 4 Points by Sheraton, San Diego, California on February 28, 2013.